Welcome to Confident AF Live, taking your mindset next level to get next year's results today with me, your host, Brandon Foster. Are you a badass peep with big dreams, ready to turn your unrealistic goals into reality? Confident AF Live is the gateway to enormous new opportunities and unlimited possibilities. The unrealistic can suddenly become realistic for you if you believe it. Are you ready to take your dreams and results to the next level? Then stay tuned as we help crack open the door to new ways of impactful thinking and believing about yourself with mindset practices for badass people like you. Confident AF Live starts right now. What up, boo? Figured I would give you a little different intro today. Man, I'm really excited about today's episode. I know I say that every single week, but the truth is I really love what I do. And I love being here to encourage you and inspire you. And I'm so grateful. I am very, very blessed. So thank you. Thank you for being here. So today we're going to talk about the courage to be seen and speak your truth. And it's really interesting because I have found over the course of being an entrepreneur myself over many years that one of the biggest pieces that people really struggle with as a badass business owner, as a travel agency owner, as a high ticket coach, as a insert whatever amazing thing that is that you do, is this innate fear of not being liked. This innate fear of people not accepting you. And what happens is whenever we base our decision based on fear and it's not based on love, that is not good. Okay. Like it never ends well to make any decisions based on fear as opposed to love. And number two, because we're afraid of not being liked, because we're afraid that people won't resonate with what we say, we either dumb down our truth or we don't speak our truth at all. And what's ironic about this is that the more that you speak your truth, the more that you are honest with people about how you feel and how you think and who you are, the more magnetic your energy and your presence is online, because there's a different energy. It's not the energy of hiding, and it's not the energy of being fake. You know, people do not like fakeness. Oh, that person is fake. What is fakeness? Fakeness is basically, I'm not going to share my truth or be who I really am because I'm afraid if you saw who I really am, you're not going to actually like me. So I'm going to be this false version of me so that I fit in instead of actually belong. Brene Brown has a great book called Daring Greatly. She talks about this difference between belonging versus being fake to fit in. When you're fake to fit in, you are rejecting the true version of who you are, your true self, because you want people to like you. But what happens is you're a false version of yourself. So when you actually show your real self, they don't like you because you lied to them. This, by the way, happened to me with a lot of my friends, a lot of my family when I came out, because I wasn't out and I was lying to them. And I honestly was lying to myself too. But there's something very powerful when you start to stand in your truth about who you are and your authenticity, because now the people who love you and the people who accept you for who you are, it's because you belong. You're not faking it. And it's true. It's different. And this is one of the biggest pieces that people do not teach about entrepreneurship, about being a business owner, about why their messaging falls flat online. The messaging falls flat online because there's no energy behind it, which is, by the way, I actually said this in a live training in my Confident Mindset Practices Facebook group, which was ChatGPT is emotionally dead. And I truly believe that. I believe that ChatGPT has some really great resources. You know, it is like the new version of Google in our society. It has limitations, but it is not an emotional human being. It does not have emotional intelligence, and emotions and emotional intelligence is energy that you can't see. It is metaphysical energy. And a lot of business owners miss and do not understand the power of energy behind their words, behind their posts, behind their videos, behind what they're actually doing online. And they wonder why they're not attracting more clients. They wonder why their business is not more successful. They're wondering why all of these things. And the reason why they're wondering all these things is because they're scared to get energetically truthful, authentic, and get behind their message. Because here's the truth. Not everybody is going to like you. Not everybody is going to like you. So this idea of I'm going to post on social media so that everybody likes what I have to say and everybody agrees with what I have to say is never going to happen. You are setting yourself up for disappointment and unrealistic expectations from the get-go. That would be like a sushi shop setting up shop and saying everybody is going to love sushi. Not going to happen. My husband loves sushi. Me, do not like sushi. Have I tried it? Yes. Not for me. I don't like sushi. Does this mean, and here's the other piece. Does this mean that sushi is not valuable? No. Does this mean that sushi is bad, wrong, or evil? No. Does this mean that sushi cannot be successful and not have an amazing place in the world? No. What does it actually mean? It just means I don't like sushi. And if I don't like sushi, I don't have to buy sushi. So the sooner that you can realize that not everybody is going to like what you have to say, not everybody's going to agree with what you have to say, not everybody's going to want your service, not everybody is going to want you to help them in the way that you desire to help them, the sooner you are okay with that, the more successful you can be as a business owner, because you've eliminated a big fear that people attach to you. And it's huge. What you can attach to, which is helpful, is that even though not everybody's going to like me, there are plenty of clients who will love me. There are plenty of people who will love me and love my services. And there's no end to the number of people I can serve. That is the positive and true mindset that you should have. And that is the mindset which allows the sushi place or whatever restaurant, whatever business to flourish, because they say, I know not everyone's going to like my sushi, but I make the best sushi. I love the sushi I make. I love my clients. I love my customers. And there's no end to the clients and customers I can have for my sushi shop. Are you all following this? This is really important. Number 2, if you are afraid to speak your truth, it's because you're hiding something. And usually we hide things because we're guilt or we're ashamed about them. And for a long time, I hid the fact that I was gay. And then after I came out, I hid the fact that I was gay, but I actually love God. And at this point, it's like, I have nothing to hide. I'm gay, love God, I love business, I love the people that I serve. What else is there? I love Disney, I love queso, I love Dairy Queen Blizzards. I love learning. I love marketing. I love watching people do unimaginable and impossible things. I love all the things. So where am I going with this? I want you to ask yourself today, what am I afraid of sharing with the people? Because the truth is whatever you're afraid of sharing with the people or people knowing about you is something that you need to clean up energetically. And that doesn't mean that you have to tell all the people about all the things. Like, I don't run around telling people I'm gay. Like, that would be silly, because people don't run around and say, hey, I'm heterosexual. Like, that's like, who cares? But what I do say is I say my husband. And I do say when we got married, I speak freely about who I am, just like any normal human being would, because it's not a big deal. And what happens is we hide things because we think we're a big deal, and we think that they're a big deal because we have unhealed trauma, unhealed ideas, or unhealed paradigms about those certain pieces in our life, When if we would just take the time to heal those things, look at those things, forgive those ideas, forgive those things, truly love and accept ourselves for who we are, then we are free to share it. And then we don't care what other people think, because we're back to the sushi please. Number 3 is that the more honest you are with people, the more they're going to appreciate, respect you, and value you. One of the first things that I say whenever I go to speak and any of my courses that I teach is, if I say anything that you disagree with, or you don't want to believe, or you don't want to attach to, or that takes you out, you don't have to agree with it. You can think it's the biggest bunch of BS and you will not hurt my feelings. You don't have to agree. You don't have to agree. I still love you. I still respect you. You don't have to agree. Really important. And number 4 is that complacency kills. It's so funny because I feel like we go through these phases as a business owner, as an entrepreneur. Like when we start, it's like we have to get more subscribers. We have to get more followers. We have to get more people on our email list. We have to do all these things, like numbers matter. And it's true that the more people you have on your email list, the more you can offer your services to people, the more people that subscribe on YouTube to you, the more people that you initially reach, the more podcast listeners that I have that are subscribed, the more, I don't know, the better reach I have. Like that piece is true. However, I also at this point really love celebrating the unsubscribes. Like anytime someone unsubscribes from my YouTube channel, my Instagram, unfollows me on Instagram, unsubscribes from my email list, I am like, thank you, God, hallelujah, get off my list. Because the truth is if I don't resonate with you, if you don't like what I have to hear, if you don't have open heart, I don't want to waste my gift on you. And so it's actually a really good thing. You know, it's like, can you imagine a sushi person trying to force feed sushi to somebody who doesn't love sushi and watching them vomit, or watching them just like not eat it, and all of their hard work and all their effort to cook and prepare this sushi goes like down the drain? Like, screw that. Like that would piss me off, right? So why do we get so bent out of shape with social media and our email list and everything else, when the truth is, like, if it doesn't resonate with you, you don't love what I have to say, then goodbye. Like, find someone else who encourages you, inspires you, and resonates with you. And I feel like it's hugely empowering as an entrepreneur to realize that, to get that, to understand that, and to show up in your truth. Number 5 is all of your unhealed pieces, your judgments, your insecurities, they're going to be shown to you. And they're going to be shown to you over and over again until you heal them. I love the Taylor Swift documentary on Netflix. I love how Taylor, without even realizing it, she's sharing her truth, her honesty, her heart about fears that were shown to her, like the fear of people booing her, the fear of not being liked, the fear of people not thinking she was a good girl, the fear of standing up for what was right politically. Like, she had all of these things, all these pieces. And every single time she had a fear, she had to deal with it, overcome it. And she took that and harvested into her next album, which was amazing and gold, and it's only gotten better. And I just think that is amazing. And so I want you all to, and I want to encourage all of you to not be afraid to look at what hurts. I want to encourage you to not be afraid to heal. I want to encourage you to not be afraid to ask yourself, why am I attached to these ideas and self-judgments that feel bad or feel terrible about me? Like, look at all of those things. Hand them over to God to heal, for the universe of unconditional love to move through for you, so that you don't have to hide it. You don't have to be afraid, so you can overcome and harvest the gold from that in a really amazing, impactful way. Number 6 is having a voice just takes practice. If you were to go back and listen to like my very first YouTube videos from my travel business, or if you were to go back to like my very first podcast episode, there is a different level of confidence, authenticity, and truth that I'm speaking today that I've ever spoken before. And the reason why that is because I've had practice. I've had practice, and I love speaking from my heart. And it's not to say that it's not scary. It's not to say that I don't feel vulnerable. It's not to say that I don't sometimes question, did I go too far? Did I speak the right thing? Did I say something that people aren't ready to hear? It's not that I don't sometimes have those doubts or those insecurities still. It's that I just trust more than I ever have before that God loves me, God adores me, God gave me this gift. I'm going to use this gift to my fullest, and that I trust God to use what I have to say for good, even if my message comes across as imperfect, even if I don't have the best social post, even if the email is not written perfectly, even if people unsubscribe. I just have to trust and believe that I am doing my best. God fills in the gaps. That is enough. Grace overflows through me, and that God will take whatever I say, the good, the bad, the imperfect, the maybe sometimes a little bit harsh, the maybe sometimes too cookie cutter, the maybe sometimes too gentle, will always take it and will always harvest the good for those who need to hear it. When you can show up like that as a business owner on social media, now you know that you're a mover and shaker in your industry. Now you know that you are going to be changing lives in a very impactful way, an impactful message. You have to get to the point where you can go into a room and you can be okay if people walk out of that room, because what you have to say is so powerful, so intentional that it moves them. It might move them to tears. It might move them to joy. It might move them to happiness. It might move them to create massive changes in their life. It might shift their perspective. It might make them uncomfortable. It might make them leave. But whatever the case is, you are standing in your true authenticity, speaking your truth when you move humans. And just like any muscle that can be built and developed, your muscle of courage and authenticity can always be built. This is why I truly believe one of the most dangerous misconceptions people have about what confidence is that you either believe you can do something or believe you can do not. This is not kindergarten. This is not grade school. This is not the truth. The truth is, every single business owner, I don't care if you're making $100,000 a month. I don't care if you're making $100,000 a day. I don't care if you're making $100,000 a year. I don't care if you are making $50,000 a year or you own $1 billion company. There are pieces in your life where you don't have self-confidence because you are a human being, which means you are meant to grow, which means you have fears, which means you have worries, which means you have doubts. What I know about confidence is that confidence comes in conditional confidence, circumstantial confidence, and different levels of confidence. You can be confident to have 5,000 followers, but not confident to have 25,000. You can be confident to have 25,000, but not confident to have 1 million followers. You can be confident to speak in a room of 25 people, but not confident to speak in a room of 1,000 people. It all stacks. There's different levels, just like a video game. So what I want to tell all of you, because if you're listening to this, there is some piece of you that you are not being truthful and honest to the world about. And it could be a really small piece, like you love Dairy Queen Blizzards, or you're from Texas, or you love barbecue, or it could be a really big piece. But whatever the piece is, I want to remind you that your truth, your authenticity, and yes, even being vulnerable is what's going to magnetize people to you. It's going to magnetize your ideal clients, and it's going to allow you to take your business and grow to a whole new level. Because the truth is, If your business is built on the gifts that God gave you, the gifts that divine orchestrated, your talents, and your mission is to help the world in an incredibly powerful way by giving your gifts, standing in your truth and healing will make you undeniable. It will make you incomparable. And that's what I want for all of you. I love you. This was a very powerful episode. Make sure you're following me on all the social medias at Brandon R. Foster for Instagram. Subscribe to my YouTube channel so you can watch this with my beautiful face live or recorded after the live. And of course, subscribe to this podcast. Share this with a friend, mentor, business owner, significant other who you want to encourage to stand up to be their most true, authentic self. I love you, and I will see you next week for another episode. All right, boo. Bye. Listening to Confident AF Live, taking your mindset next level to get next year's results today with host Brandon Foster on transformationtalkradio.com. Listen or watch live every Wednesday, 12 p.m. Pacific, 3 p.m. Eastern, where I help badasses like you with big dreams learn to take their impact and results next level, turning those unrealistic goals into reality. Confident AF Live is the gateway to enormous new opportunities and unlimited possibilities. For more information, get in touch with me, Brandon, at BrandonRFoster.com.